Hi, everybody. My name is Douglas Fancini, and today we're going to be talking about eating out and the vocabulary related to it. I say sorry for you guys, so my voice is not so good tonight, but I'll try to speak lower with a lower voice. But I hope you guys can understand, can follow me in this vocabulary as we can see. And if you guys could repeat this in your house, it would be great because you're going to practice your pronunciation, your reading, and your understanding of the topic that we are going to talk. Okay, so eating out, it is when you're not cooking at home or having dinner or lunch in your house. You're going outside to have lunch or dinner or something or any other meal, but not in your house. So I mean here that it is eating out. Okay, so let's go with some sentences. We decided to try a new restaurant downtown. Okay, you know that downtown is the center of the city, and it doesn't matter where you live, there is a downtown, there is a center of the city, of your city, a place full of restaurants and options so you can decide depending on what you want and on what they offer there at the downtown. They have a lot of different restaurants, so you can decide and try a new restaurant downtown in the center of your city, for example. Let's go to this sentence here. The waiter explained the specials of the day and recommended a local fish dish. So the specials are something that they are offering that day as something that everybody will like, and they decided to show this as a special dish, something that is recommended as well. And if you go there, you're gonna see the advertising of this kind of dish as a special because they are recommending it in that day. For example, I spent a few minutes reading through the menu to see what they offered. In this sentence, you can see the word related to the topic eating out, that is the menu. And the menu is a kind of paper or something where you will read the options that you have there in that restaurant or in that place. Sometimes you can see the name of the dish, the ingredients containing there, and the price sometimes of the dish, so you can decide not just by what you want but what you can pay for example. Okay, so this is a very good vocabulary so you guys can practice. This next sentence here. I wasn't sure what to order, so I asked for the chef's suggestion. Yeah, sometimes you go out to eat and you just don't know what you're gonna have for the meal. And you ask for a recommendation for the guys who have prepared the food. In this case of the picture, you can see that they are the chefs or the the staff that work there inside of the restaurant cooking the food, and these are the best person to show you the recommendations because they studied for that, they prepared that, they know what are the ingredients, the differences between one dish and the other. So with these guys, you're gonna go well because they know what they are doing. I'm sorry, but I'm drinking some water because my voice is not that good tonight. So let's go. Luckily, we managed to get a table by the window with a lovely view. Yeah, when you go to a restaurant, you can decide by staying by the window or in the middle of the restaurant with every other people there. Sometimes they have tables outside of the restaurant, on the sidewalks, which is very common in Europe, for example. In Brazil sometimes, but we don't get used to it because we are a lot of people walking on the sidewalk, so we don't like people and tables outside of restaurants bothering uh, in the middle of the way in the sidewalk, but you can have this in Europe and UK and a lot of other countries. Okay, the bill. What is the bill? The bill is the paper that will show you the amount, the price of the food that you just ate. At the end of your meal, you're gonna receive a paper with all the costs of your food. Okay, the bill arrived and it was more than we expected. In this case, you ate something, but in the end you said, oh, that's too much money for that food. If I could, I have not ordered that kind of food, because depending on the situation, it's not what you wanted. It's not what you wanted to pay that amount of money. But if you are not surprised at the end, this is good. But if you are surprised by the cost, it doesn't look right for you. It doesn't look good, because if you wanna be satisfied in a restaurant, it is because of the food and the price and the cost and the benefits that you can have there. Sometimes this doesn't happen. Okay, let's go with this sentence here. The service was excellent, so we left a generous tip for the staff. Okay, we have a lot to discuss here, because if the service was excellent, they are expecting a tip for that, because they most of the times in some countries they expect you to give a tip, and a tip is a money that you give more than just the bill. You pay the bill and you add some amount of money to give to the person who served you, the waiter or the staff, or even the chef, depending on the restaurant. And the staff is exactly the people that work in that restaurant. The waiter, the waitress, the staff, the chef, the even the owner of the restaurant. Sometimes they work and they make part of the staff, so you can give a tip to these guys so they can divide, or to one that you like it, that he served you or she served you, depending on the person. It's good to give a tip. The amount is different. It's different depending on the country. 15%, 10%, 20%, depending on the country. It is better you search that before you go, when you're traveling, or if it is in your city, you already know something. You know what is a good amount of tip to give to someone, and you can decide by giving that to the guy or the girl that served you and you liked it. Okay. So let's go with more sentences here. As a starter, we shared a plate of calamari with garlic sauce. Okay, we have this starter word that is the beginning of the meal that you're gonna have. You're gonna start, okay, by the starter. It is just for you to wait for the main course, which is the main dish that will come to your table. Okay, but before and for you to wait for the food, you start by the starter. And in this case, it's very weird to have calamari as a starter, but you can have, or depending on the restaurant, the chef, the style of the restaurant, you can have this calamari, or can have a bread, or can have something as a starter, just so you can wait for the food. My main course was a spicy curry served with steamed rice. Okay, the main course, as I said, is the biggest dish that will come to your table. It is the main dish. Okay, so the main course. And the sentence says that it is spicy. Oh, that has something like pepper flavor. And curry, as we know, has a strong flavor. And it is served with steamed rice. So you're gonna see the vapor that will cover this rice, or will be prepared like that and steamed. So this is what you have in this sentence. There are lots of vocabulary here that you don't have to memorize, but you have to prepare. So you, when you go to a restaurant, maybe you're gonna be surprised by some words, and if you don't know them, you're gonna be asking to the guy, what is this, what is that, all the time. But if you get used to vocabulary, you don't need to ask for, you just pass to the other, no, or you say, no, I don't like that, I don't need that, I prefer not, or I'd rather not, depending on what your vocabulary, if it is more accurate, if you know more words, you will get to the conversation that will flow better than if you are all the time asking, what is this, what is that, what does it mean, what is that, and what is this word, can you show me a picture, can you translate in the Google or something. So you don't need that, you just know the vocabulary and the conversation will flow. Okay, for dessert, I chose homemade cheesecake with fresh strawberries. Okay, we have the dessert. That is a part of the food that you're gonna have in a restaurant, but in the end, okay, of your food, of your meal, in the end, because most of the times these are sweet. Okay, you started by eating some salty food, and in the end, it's very good to have the dessert as a sweet thing, a pudding, a cake, an ice cream, or something. Cheesecake in the example here, with fresh strawberries. So yeah, most of the times you're gonna have fruits following or in the side or as the main dessert. Okay, and be careful with the pronunciation of the word dessert. Okay, even if they have two s's, so you don't say s sound. Okay, you say dessert, dessert. It's very important. Okay, sometimes I prefer to get takeaway when I'm too tired to go out. Yeah, takeaway, it is when you go to the restaurant, you buy the food, but you're not going to eat inside of the restaurant. You're gonna take away. You're gonna take the food far from the restaurant to your house or something. Yeah, you're tired to go out. You're tired to stay in a restaurant, because the sentence is here is complicated a little bit, because take away, it is to take out of the restaurant, but go out, you go out to go to the restaurant. But I mean, not going out and staying out, you just go take the food and go back to your house. It is like that, the example here in this sentence. Okay, so take away is when you don't eat inside of the restaurant, you put in a bag like in the picture, and you take home, you take the food with you to your house. Okay, great. We made a reservation in advance because the place is always fully booked. Fully booked, it is completely full of reservations. There is no place for you to go there, because all the tables, all the chairs are already taken. You don't have any place to stay in this restaurant in this day if it is fully booked. Okay, so we made a reservation in advance. This is important. Make a reservation in advance, so you don't have this situation of not having a place for you because it is fully booked. Take a look at the woman in the picture. She is very mad, sad, because it is fully booked. There's no place in this restaurant for any other person. The food was absolutely delicious, especially the grilled shrimp with lemon. Shrimp is this little thing from the sea, as you can see in the picture there. And I put the prawns and the shrimp. Okay, they are a little bit different if you look at the pictures, but for me, I don't think these matter, because I like shrimp. So I don't know if there's a difference in the taste. I confess I don't know, but shrimp is this, as you can see in the picture here. Okay. Okay, let's go to this very famous picture of this guy putting salt in the food, and unfortunately, as the sentence say, the soup was a bit too salty, which spoiled the flavor. So the food was very bad because it's too much salt. So it is a bit too salty. It means, oh my god, the salt is too much here, and the flavor of the food was spoiled because of that. In a soup, this can be something that you can drink or take or have some spoons, but after sometime you cannot have more because it's too salty. Okay, eating at that restaurant was quite expensive, but the quality made it worthwhile. Yes, if it is worthwhile, it is. It means that it was good the price you paid for eating there, even if it is a high price, because the food was so good and it's worthwhile. So this is what the sentence means. It was expensive, but it was worthwhile. And why? Because the quality of the food made it worthwhile. Okay, even if it is expensive, it is worthwhile. Okay, there's a nice cafe around the corner that serves great food at cheap prices. Sometimes you're looking for both cases. You're looking for good food and you're looking for good prices. Sometimes it is difficult to find these kinds of combination, but if you're lucky and if you look, you're gonna find something like that. Okay. This sentence. I asked the waiter if he could recommend something light, as I wasn't very hungry. So, in this case, the sentence it is like that. I am not very hungry. I want something light. So I have to find a restaurant that serves light food, because if you go to a restaurant that serves barbecues or pastas or something heavy, this is not the case for you, because you're not hungry. And if you're not hungry, you're looking for something like a salad or a fruit salad or something like a fish, but not so heavy as the regular meals that we have in restaurants. Okay, I love to try new dishes whenever I travel to a different country. And if you're traveling to a different country, of course, most of the times you're gonna see the popular dishes of that place and the cultural dishes of that place. Your friends will recommend. You are gonna ask for recommendations to the guys in the restaurant, and they will say, here, what people eat is this, and maybe you want to try. Sometimes you're gonna like, sometimes you won't, because you don't know the place. It is new for you, like in the sentence, try new dishes from different country. You never been there, so you just have to give it a try to see if you like it or not. And this will be a memory for you for a lot of time in your life. Okay, let's go with this one. The place was so busy that we had to wait almost 30 minutes to be seated. This is something that I confess I don't like, to wait in line to enter in a restaurant. If there's a line for me to wait, for me to eat, oh, I change the restaurant. I don't wait. I don't like to wait. I don't think any restaurant is so good that I have to wait in a line for 30 minutes so I can eat there. Okay, some people will disagree. Will say no. There's a restaurant very important, very international, very celebrated and prized with a lot of stars, the Michelin stars. But for me, I want to eat. I don't want the stars or the fancy restaurants like that. For me, it doesn't work. But anyway, you decide what you want. Okay, let's go with this. The view from the rooftop restaurant was stunning, especially at sunset. Yes, this is a beautiful restaurant in a rooftop. So it is in a building where you go up and you're gonna stay outdoors there in the rooftop looking at the sky or something very similar to that, because there's a window or there's no windows. It is just an open space in the rooftop, something like as you can see in the picture. Okay, and these are very beautiful and fancy restaurants. This is a good opportunity to eat with a view, and this is very good. Okay, guys, thank you very much for having me. This is my website. Okay, so you can contact me, download contents there, see what is new in my website. My name is Douglas Fancini. I love English. I have written this book, as you can see here, and this material is available for download. And if you click here, you go directly to the Amazon link, so you can buy my book. It's not expensive, it's worthwhile. You're gonna have a lot of good experiences, but these are for beginners. I'm writing new books with more content to more advanced students. Okay, this is me in London, this is me in Edinburgh, where I was traveling. And guys, thank you very much for watching my videos, for following my work, and for sending me feedbacks all the times I record new videos. I thank you so much for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, and sorry for the voice that is very bad tonight, but I do this because I love. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.